9 signs you are on the path to enlightenment. Life is like a wide river, always flowing and changing with each instant, never staying still for us to hold to indefinitely. Small waves lap gently on the coast, and water droplets shine in the early sun. Yet it all fades away, dissolving into the never-ending flow of time. The Buddha taught in the connected discourses, Samyutta Nikaya. Monks, all things are impermanent. Whatever arises must pass away. Whatever comes together must fall apart like a flame that burns and then goes out, like foam that breaks on the river's surface. In this ever-changing flow, no one hands you a book of destiny or maps out a path with clear markers for you to follow. Instead, the cosmos provides clues, subtle ripples of cause and effect, calm moments such as the sound of a temple bell ringing in the solitude of night or dry leaves falling in a dense autumn forest. These indicators invite you to halt, listen with your entire heart, and look deeply within yourself with open eyes. When you watch them and let your mind settle like a peaceful lake without waves, you will notice that they are not random. They are little lamps that illuminate the road to enlightenment, which the Buddha opened over 2,500 years ago beneath the hallowed Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya. Buddhism does not teach that someone is selected from above, nor does it tell the story of one particular individual who is privileged to shine alone amid millions of others. Instead, the Buddha taught that every creature, from a lowly villager to a small bird on a branch, had Buddha nature, the ability to awaken, conquer suffering, and achieve ultimate peace. He said in the Dhammapada, verse 160, "You are your own refuge. Who else could be your refuge? When you tame your own mind, when you master the wild currents of greed, anger, and ignorance, that is the noblest refuge no one can give you." The path to enlightenment isn't a privilege for just one person or a gift dropped from the heavens. It's an open door for everyone who is willing to go through it. Imagine an early morning with mist still covering the mountains and forests, and the first rays of dawn just visible on the horizon. A Zen master sits silently beside a tiny creek. One day, a young Zen comes, kneeling on a moss-covered rock and bowing respectfully, and says, "Teacher, how do I know I'm on the right path to enlightenment? How can I be sure my steps aren't lost in a world full of temptations and pain?" The master gently smiles, his eyes bright like the full moon, then points to the stream and says, "Look at that water. When you stop clinging to the ripples that fade away, when you stop trying to hold the drops slipping through your fingers and simply hear it flow, feel it flow with full awareness, you'll see the path within yourself. Enlightenment isn't a far-off goal. It's how you live in each moment." That response is as simple as a breath, yet as profound as the ocean. It starts with the simplest things, listening to birdsong in the morning, smiling at a stranger, and letting go of an old sadness. Today, I ask you to look at 9 signals that indicate you're getting closer to the light of enlightenment, a light that will lead you through life rather than raise you above others. Let us take this trip together with an open heart like the sky, a serene mind like a silent lake, and the spirit of a traveler resting by a stream, finding the way home with every breath. Sign 1. You live too true to yourself. Dishonesty is like a tight shirt, squeezing you, robbing your breath, and making you restless. When anything goes against your heart, a deception to impress others, an act you force yourself to perform, you can't endure wearing a mask and concealing your actual self. Instead, you let go, walking away from settings that do not reflect who you are, even if it means being misunderstood or standing alone. In Buddhism, this is an indication of right speech and right action, words and actions that are honest and devoid of greed, wrath, or illusion. The Buddha taught in the Dhammapada, "Mind leads all things, mind is the master, mind creates. If you speak or act with a pure mind, happiness follows him, like a shadow that never leaves him. Your honesty is that pure mind, a small flame lighting your path and warming those around you, like an oil lamp flickering in the dark, steady against the cold wind. You don't fit well among those who want riches, gossip, or exploit the helpless. It's not that you look down on them or consider yourself superior. Your heart tends toward purity, like a lotus emerging from dirty water, unaffected by the filth beneath. A Zen narrative recounts about Hui Neng, the sixth patriarch of Chinese Zen. As a poor woodcutter in a distant mountain town, he overheard someone reciting a verse from the Diamond Sutra. Let your mind arise without clinging anywhere. Like lightning piercing the night sky, he awoke quickly, realizing his mind's innate purity. Later, as a master, he taught his students, the mind is pure by nature. Why search outside? Let go of greed, anger, and ignorance, and the light shines within you. Living genuinely doesn't only keep you honest, it connects you to your Buddha nature, as Hui Neng discovered in a simple moment outside a decaying temple. Sign 2. You wish to eliminate reincarnation. Others may find delight in rituals, laughing at meals, or the radiance of bustling cities. But you can feel their impermanence. Money slips away like sand through fingers. Fame fades like clouds in the sky. And everything shimmers briefly like bubbles on a river before bursting. The Buddha said in the Connected Discourses, "Monks, craving is the root of suffering. The rope tying us to the wheel of birth and death. Letting go of craving is the path to freedom, the door to the other shore." Your longing isn't dissatisfaction or boredom with life. It's a sign that your heart longs for liberty, for the distant shore beyond the cycle of rebirth, where tranquility is not based on transient goods. You select a gentler way, the Noble Eightfold Path. Not to stand out or prove yourself superior to others or to display your differences. You chose it because deep down, you know life is more than what your eyes or ears can see. A world interlaced with causes and effects, knowledge and awakening in the midst of turmoil. A meditator once bowed before his instructor, saying, "Teacher, why am I restless with this life, even when I have enough? Family, friends, calm days." The teacher escorted the pupil to a modest shrine with an oil lamp and crickets chirping in the darkness. "Watch your breath," he said. "See it rise and fall all night." At dawn, with sunlight spilling through leaves, the student looked up, eyes shining, and said, "I see it. Everything's like passing clouds, a dream." Your yearning is the same, not to leave life, but to awaken and cross the beach of illusion, building a steady road to the eternal light of enlightenment. Sign 3. You learn from your suffering. Life is not a meadow of beautiful flowers with gentle sunlight and lullabies. Instead, obstacles arrive early, like wild waves on an open sea, sweeping away all you held dear. A shattered family, failing health, and youthful ambitions that vanished before you could grasp them. However, in Buddhism, pain is neither a divine punishment nor a sign of bad luck. It is your greatest teacher, a fire that forges your spirit every day. The Buddha taught in the Four Noble Truths. This is suffering. This is its cause. This is its end. This is the path to its end, a path of mindfulness, patience, and compassion. Each hardship trains your patience like fire tempers a sword. Each loss teaches you impermanence like golden leaves falling in autumn wind. Zen Master Dogen of Japan lost both of his parents as children, his mother at the age of 7 and his father earlier, leaving him alone in an empty house. Instead of wallowing in guilt or misery, he sat beside the incense smoke at their burial, watching it rise and dissipate into the atmosphere. Later, he said in Shobogenzo, "Suffering is a flame, but from that flame, light is born to guide those who look deeply." Even when you're in pain, losing a loved one, recovering from a failing career, you still help others, providing comfort by your presence. Suffering does not destroy you. It raises you up, opens your heart, and reveals that each tear is a seed of wisdom, growing into the tree of enlightenment. Sign 4. You pursue the truth in all aspects of life. As a youngster, you refuse to accept simple explanations or excuses from adults to quell your curiosity. Why is the sky blue? Why do people suffer? What is the meaning of life? These questions stick to you like a fire that burns all night. That insatiable curiosity leads you to delve deeper into the substance of life, beyond society's normal beliefs, that happiness comes from money, success from fame. Buddhism refers to this as the true view, seeing reality clearly, free of ignorance or delusion. In the Kalama Sutta, the Buddha said, "Don't believe because you're told. Test it yourself to see what's true, what brings peace." A meditator once questioned Ajahn Chah, Thailand's famed teacher. "Teacher, what's the truth? I've searched for years and still feel lost." He pointed to the forest beyond, green trees swaying, and said, "Look, trees grow then die, leaves sprout then fall, nothing lasts. Truth is in every falling leaf, every passing breeze." The student sat under a tree all day, watching golden leaves drift down, breezes carrying them away. As the evening approached, he smiled. "I get it. Truth isn't something to hold, it's something to see. Your pursuit of truth remains the same, not to dispute or boast that you are smarter than others. When you watch a flower blossom and then wilt, you see the underlying reality of impermanence, a steady stride toward the light of enlightenment, not someplace out there, but shining brightly in your heart, as plain as the sun in a cloudless sky. Sign 5. You stand apart in life's flow. Family and friends may not understand you. You're like a bird soaring against the wind while everyone else chases fame, fortune, or worldly ideals. You can feel out of place amid familiar people, like a missing note in life's chorus. This discrepancy is not coincidental, nor is it anything to brag about or be embarrassed of. In Buddhism, it represents distinct karma from previous lifetimes, the fruit of seeds planted in the stream of existence. The Buddha taught in the connected discourses that karma is intention, karma is action, and from that comes result. Your path is one of awakening, not blending in with the crowd, not chasing the fleeting mirages that the world sets as traps. Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Zen master, shared about his childhood in a small village. "I felt different, like I didn't belong to that village, its games or the adults' petty talk. But one day, sitting by a stream, listening to water flow over smooth stones, I saw I belonged to everything. Trees, birds, sky, even those who didn't understand me." Later, meditating under a Bodhi tree at Plum Village, he reflected on this difference, realizing it didn't separate him. Though loneliness might seep in, sitting alone in a quiet room, you realize it's the cost of spiritual freedom. Freedom to follow your heart, to hear your own voice above the din, walking alone under the moonlight on a larger journey to enlightenment. Sign 6. Compassion is your nature. Even after being injured, deceived, or used by a friend who turned away, a loved one who departed, or times you gave and received only indifference, you choose goodness, opening your heart as if nothing happened. It is neither weakness nor ignorance to believe the world is always fair. Your love bursts like a brook running over rocks or a flame burning through rain. In the Metta Sutta, the Buddha taught, like a mother loves her only child, ready to give her life to protect it, spread compassion to all beings, friend or foe, without limit in space or time. Buddhism refers to this as the bodhisattva heart, giving without expecting a return, without calculating gain or loss, and holding nothing back. You get great delight from assisting others, a kind remark on a gloomy day, a hand held firmly in a hospital ward, or a silent presence alongside someone in sorrow. A Zen story recounts about Milarepa, Tibet's greatest yogi. Before waking, he committed a sin of hatred by destroying a town with magic. Repenting, he abandoned everything, living in frigid Himalayan caves, eating nettles, and meditating to change his karma. He aided others via songs of awakening, stating, "Compassion is a breeze, blowing away darkness from hearts, lighting up foes and friends alike. Your heart does not fatigue or transform you into a blind martyr. It connects you to your true essence, like a quiet lake reflecting the moon, giving a food to the hungry, a smile to a stranger, advice to the lost. Feels like serenity, not loss, since compassion is not a barter or bargain. It's a natural fire within you that provides warmth in the cold of winter and pierces the shadow of misery. Living with compassion despite the world's harshness is a cool wind that brings life and hope to those who need it the most, a sign that you are on the Buddha's road of love and enlightenment." Sign 7. Intuition guides you. You hear a cry beyond time, like a little flame unquenched by cold winds across barren plains or steadfast under unending rain. You're unfamiliar with the world of greed, rage, and delusion, power conflicts, harsh words, and the never-ending pursuit of more. Sometimes you remember a quiet location you've never been to, a faint but powerful emotion, like a recollection from a previous life. In Buddhism, this is known as your Buddha nature, the pure essence that exists in all beings, uncontaminated by worldly dust. The Buddha taught in the Lotus Sutra that all beings have the wisdom and virtue of the Tathagata, hidden only by ignorance and craving, like the moon behind clouds, yet always shining. This intuition isn't a figment of your imagination. It's a link to wisdom accumulated over countless lives, awakening in you day by day, like a lotus bud opening to the sun. A meditator once told his teacher on a quiet afternoon at a forest retreat, "Sitting in meditation, I feel I'm returning to a far-off place, free of pain or strife." "Where is it, teacher?" The teacher smiled, eyes bright as an oil lamp in the dark, and said, "It's not somewhere else. It's your heart's home where Buddha nature dwells, where peace blooms when you drop greed, anger, and delusion." The student meditated for a week by an old tree, listening to his steady breathing. He recognized the call was not to a faraway location, but rather a reminder from within to practice the Dharma. You sense it, too. You're not here merely to exist, not to float like a dried leaf in the breeze. You're here to change pain, to bring light to yourself and others, to serve as a beacon in the midst of a storm. That call becomes clearer with mindfulness, meditating in a little room, walking a village path, looking into a loved one's eyes, and seeing the cosmos in them. Your intuition is a guiding breeze, a moonlight trail, a sign that you are gradually rising toward the beach of enlightenment, where illusions dissolve and only truth remains. Sign 8. Your light highlights the darkness. Not everyone likes you, even if you have done nothing wrong. Even if you are pleasant and sincere, some people shun you, scowl, or speak angrily. Your kindness, the light from your heart, occasionally disturbs people, like an oil lamp shining into shadows they'd rather hide. Fears, envy, scars they refuse to address. Buddhism defines this as the nature of an unruly mind tainted by greed, wrath, and ignorance. The Buddha taught in the Dhammapada, those who repay evil with evil pile up more evil, like adding fuel to fire. Those who conquer evil with good dissolve it, like water puts out flames. Instead of sorrow or retaliation, you continue to shine, knowing your light is for all who need it, even those who do not yet see. Sariputta, the Buddha's chief disciple, experienced contempt while asking for alms on a dusty rural road. A guy, enraged over his own problems, said, "Beggar, why cross my path?" Sariputta did not respond or dispute. He smiled softly, eyes like moonlight, and continued strolling peacefully. Later, he meditated by a wayside tree, viewing the man's rage as his own karma rather than a personal flaw. The guy returned to apologize, and Sariputta said, "I hold no grudge. Grudges have no place in an awake mind. Your consistency reflects this. Despite misunderstanding or criticism, you keep your flame lit. Harsh comments do not shake your goodwill, and rejection does not weaken your commitment. Smiling at a critic and assisting someone who has wronged you, you live with awareness and compassion, like a lotus blooming from the muck. This is spiritual growth, choosing light over darkness, love over hatred. Your radiance may irritate some, but it is also a cool breeze, a warm beam that offers hope to those who are willing to receive it, a symbol of your rising in the midst of life's darkness." Sign 9. Respect the rule of cause and effect. Everything in the universe follows a natural rule, like the sun rising and setting, spring fading into winter, and you feel it in every moment, from sunny days to frigid nights, momentary joys to lengthy tragedies. You don't belittle spirituality or dismiss it as superstition for the weak. You are aware that every action, thought, and word has an impact on the flow of cause and effect, much like a pebble rippling a lake. In the connected discourses, the Buddha taught, "Because this exists, that exists. Because this arises, that arises. Because this ceases, that ceases. All is interdependence." You are a light bearer living to plant good seeds, a kind word, a helping hand, a positive thought, not just for now, but for a distant future, for yourself and future generations. A Zen master once told a story during a talk under a Bodhi tree. As a young man, I planted a small Bodhi tree by the temple, not for shade in my lifetime, but so others could rest and meditate beneath it later. He sat by that tree every day, reflecting on cause and effect, each leaf's fall a result of wind, sun, and soil. He noticed how every simple act today, a smile, a bow, contributes to a great chain of karma, brightening the planet. You, too, live in this way, unconcerned with life's changes or the possibility that your generosity would go unnoticed. You trust the Dharma to lead you, illuminated by the Buddha's wisdom and protected by the Sangha. Repairing a stranger's bike, collecting rubbish by a river, or meditating to spread peace, you plant seeds in the karmic flow. This confidence isn't naive faith pleading for favors from gods. It's a strong belief in nature's principles, that each step, as small as a grain of sand, draws you closer to liberation's beach, where pain ceases and only light and serenity remain. This is an indication that you are living the Dharma and following the Buddha's road to enlightenment. Looking at these 9 indicators, you may see that you were not selected from above, nor are you a star in a divine narrative written by an invisible hand. You're lighting a lamp in your own heart, gradually revealing the Buddha nature within, not a rare gift, but a light in every being, from you to me to the bird chirping outside your window. The Buddha stated in the Dhammapada, verse 166, "Don't seek your own gain at the expense of others. Don't chase personal joy while ignoring others' pain. Strive for everyone's peace on the Dharma's path." These signals aren't meant to be a source of pride, to show that you're superior or separate. They are mirrors, gentle whispers like a wind, demonstrating that the route to enlightenment is shared, overcoming pain with patience, spreading compassion with an open heart, and living with wisdom as brilliant as the sun in a clear sky. If you observe these signals in your life, honesty like an unquenched light, hunger for freedom like the wind across fields, compassion like a flowing stream, and faith in karma like a steadfast Bodhi tree. Treasure them as valuable seeds in your soul's garden. Nurtured with mindfulness and watered with awareness, they will bloom into the tree of enlightenment, not just for you, but for everyone around you and future generations. A meditator once questioned his instructor before morning, with dew still on the grass. "Teacher, how long is the path to enlightenment? How far must I go to reach the other shore?" The teacher did not respond with figures or distant promises. He laughed, pointed to the student's breath, and said, "It's as long as one breath if you live it fully. It's as long as countless lives if your mind wanders into greed and anger. That is your call, to live in the present now, rather than waiting for a distant day or lamenting a gone past like clouds disappearing in the sky. Live like Hui Neng, with simple honesty igniting awareness at a small temple. Persist like Milarepa, transforming your gloom into a soothing wind. Be gentle like Sariputta, maintaining the light steady even when the world turns away. Trust like the Master by the Bodhi tree, knowing that every tiny act you do today, a smile, a bow, a minute of meditation, will contribute to a magnificent chain of good. Living genuinely, rising above sorrow with patience, sowing kindness with compassion, not only saves you, but also lights the path for countless others, seen or unseen. One evening, Ajahn Chah sat meditating by the Mekong River, watching waves glide beneath a scarlet sunset. A student knelt on the dewy grass, asking, "Teacher, how do I keep my mind calm in life's storms, temptations, and pain?" Ajahn Chah looked up, eyes shining like a guiding lamp, and said, "Like this river. It flows but doesn't cling to the banks, doesn't hold the water rushing by. Be like that. Live each moment, but don't grasp greed, don't cling to anger, and don't chase delusion. Let go, and your mind finds peace. That instruction is your compass, not a race or a proof, but a means of living completely. In the connected discourses, the Buddha stated, if just one person lives true to the Dharma, if one lamp shines in the dark, the world still has light, still has hope. You are that light, not chosen, not given, but shining through mindfulness, compassion, and faith in cause and effect. Continue following this route, not hurrying like an escapee, nor afraid like a lost soul. Every step as modest as sand on a beach or as silent as a leaf in the woods feeds into the grand stream of calm. When you meditate in your room, breathe under a tree, or smile at a stranger, you are planting the seeds of enlightenment for yourself and the world. May you find tranquility on this journey, today, tomorrow, and forever, like moonlight on a peaceful night or a river reaching the sea.